Welcome to Big Boy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. Some say no channel works harder to keep you in the know when it comes to crypto. This is Around the Blockchain. We come to you 5:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, talking to your favorite guests about your favorite topics. Again, I know I say this every time. Today's no exception. Today may be the best episode we're ever going to have. We're going to go ahead and get started on the guests here. On the top right, we have Rice TVx. Definitely check out his channel. He's always putting out good content. And right now, he is live on air. Then on the bottom right, we have Crypto Lifer. You can find him at Crypto Lifer 33. Many call him the Larry Bird of cryptocurrency. So, you know, he's not a hick from Salt Lick, but, you know, he's still draining those from downtown, those good
baby,
calls.
33, baby.
All right.
Larry.
Then on the bottom left, we have Ryan. He is the CEO of Tellercoin, correct? So, you know, Teller Finance. So glad to have you on. We always like to have those good, strong technical experts. Then on the top left, she's not rocking the pink. She's not rocking the red. She's not rocking the blue. She's rocking the forest green. It is Ragzy. So we had to throw her in the green slot. So Ragzy, always a good time when you're on here. But let's, you know, we're going to get into times. We have Luna flipping Ethereum. What metric are we talking about? Bored Ape, KYC, not KFC. They're not teaming up with the Colonel Sanders. They want to know all your information. And AMC Theatre, we've talked about it a couple times over the past, I think 5 months ago they started this process, but it's finally happening. You can spend Doge to go see the Batman, just like Bruce Wayne intended. Is Bruce Wayne Elon Musk? Who knows? But before we get into that, everyone, you know what time it is. We are going to look at the markets, and it's largely flat. It could be a lot worse. It was down a little bit yesterday, I think around 5% for Bitcoin. Right now, you know, we're under 1% loss, 1% down for Ethereum. We're looking at something completely different. But we also, you know, Luna is down around 91. So I was going to bring it to you, Lifer. Maybe you could share a screen. I kind of want to ask about Terra Luna. You have it going way up, but it's been battling with XRP with market cap. We have XRP up almost 10%, Luna down almost 10%, and they've just flip-flopped. They, you know, Luna was above it. It's been trying to climb in. It's climbed past Solana. It's climbed past Cardano. What is going on with Luna? Can this rise stop? I mean, it seemed like the markets wanted it to cool down.
Number one, whenever you look at any coin, you got to look at Bitcoin. You know, I'm not going to spend time. I know you want to see Luna, so we're going to jump into Luna for a quick second. I actually am thinking of opening up a long on what's called Luna 3L, which is a 3x leveraged coin on KuCoin. Right now, you can see the idea that I've already been building here. Why? Well, Luna, whenever I trade and price gets away from the 21-day moving average and I'm high on the stochastics, I like to take profits. That's my trading style. You do whatever makes you happy, but that's what I teach. It came back down there. I like to see that. So now you see it formed a bit of a double bottom, but it made a higher high. There was bearish divvy here too, because swing up to swing up and swing down to swing down. Told you that you probably would have had a little bit of a trouble there. We hit an all-time high. We're gonna have to come and find some support. I was hoping we could hold that support at 91. It dropped a little bit lower, but you can see we had a previous candle resistance right there at about 87.15. Holding that low, and what you want to do is I like to switch to the 1 hour. If the 1 hour is ready to flip on you, highly likely that's going to push back up. If anything, looking like there's an easy swing trade for Luna back up to the top of the channel here at about 100. From there, we're going to have to see if it can break out or if it channels in again a little longer. However, I look at the daily as well. That daily also did a flip. This is a curious little thing the stochastics RSI does. If the 4 hour can have a lot of pressure pushing up, you can see it actually flip the 1 hour. This is something I back tested many, many times for years. Sorry, hold on one second. Let me put my live screen on. So basically Luna here is dropping off and it could bounce off this. Stop calling me, please. Don't do that. Sorry. Don't ever call me during the live. Sorry. Okay, so
it's Kevin McHale. He was wanting some
that was
tips.
My team calling me real quick because I forgot to hit the stream button. So sorry. So look, this is we had bullish a bearish divergence. Swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down gives you bearish divvy. Okay, because you have a higher high on the price and a lower low on the RSI. Even if it's flat, that can give you bearish div. And if you have high stochastics above the dotted line, it's highly likely you're going to come back down. I'm waiting for a nice entry for Luna. We got a low 4 hour, a low 1 hour, and a daily that's might flip. However, it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin likes to take a big drop, it'll affect Luna tonight, regardless. So I am actually seeing that Bitcoin's chart looks pretty good. So right now I'm waiting for Luna to either hold this area or maybe take a bounce off 77. Highly more likely, I believe, that it holds above this area and takes a bit of a bounce. So that's what I'm looking at for Luna. Let me just give you a quick backdrop into Bitcoin because you can't trade any coin if you don't look at Bitcoin. You have to. I keep them tandem. I keep Bitcoin on the screen while I keep Luna on the screen. And you got to see what Bitcoin's doing. Right now, Bitcoin's in a beautiful, beautiful bilateral. It's a bilateral pattern, a asymmetric triangle that could go up either way. Our target here is 50,000. Our low target is the sweeping 30K lows. Whatever happens in the next few days really is going to show us what's going to happen in the next few weeks. This is getting tight. I predict a big move for Bitcoin in the next 36 to 48 hours based on the tightness of this channel. Highly likely Bitcoin pumps up tonight, back up 8% to about 41,800. From there, we're going to see if we get rejected, come back down. But I believe we're tightening up, and you can see the range is getting tighter. So I am bullish on Luna. I am bullish on Bitcoin. If you're in my trading group, those are the two coins that I'm looking at tonight. And I like Quant too as well. Sorry about the screen there.
No, you're good. If anyone knows range, it's you, the Larry Bird of crypto. You know, you go down from downtown here. But yeah, so Terra blockchain is overtaken ETH 2.0. It's overtaken Solana in the staking market cap. This is not to be confused with total value locked. This is just you know, getting locked up in the native ecosystem. So past Solana, it's you know, well past it right now. So it's in third place right now. It's moving on up. But you know, I kind of want to bring it to you, Rice. Or go ahead.
That's staking. No?
Yeah, it's that staking. Now, Rice, you know, we talk about, you know, competition is healthy and it is good to, you know, the more coins, the better is, you know, kind of a common narrative. But when it comes to developers and people trying to build out ecosystems, are we kind of spreading ourselves too thin? Or, you know, are we getting the best and the brightest minds and everybody's kind of working on something different? And then, you know, we're not really making the best protocols we could otherwise?
I don't think so. I think that, you know, having that freedom of choice, being able to pick the blockchains that you want to develop on. As a coder, I mean, I'm not a coder, but I would think that you want to code in whatever language is proficient to you and whatever you're knowledgeable in. So I would imagine that coders would gravitate towards what they're already familiar with. But with that being said, first of all, thanks for having me back on Around the Blockchain. It's always a pleasure. I want to encourage people to check out Rice TVx. Rice TVx 2 did get reinstated, so I appreciate the support. And I did an awesome interview with the Phantom Foundation CEO, Michael Kong, to kind of clear up a lot of that Cronje rumor and news that people had gotten. Now, when it comes to Terra Luna, flipping Ethereum and Solana by market cap and staking, one, we have to think about the fact that Ethereum 2.0 hasn't even officially launched. Right now, it really technically is a proof of work chain. So, you know, I would like to see those numbers once we get closer to Ethereum 2.0 or once Ethereum 2.0 launches. And I know that's not the correct branding name that they're using anymore, but I don't remember the particular name that they were utilizing. But with that being said, there have been many projects that have claimed to be Ethereum killers or competitors for Ethereum. And ultimately, Ethereum has always stood. It's proven itself. I've always talked about the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and who's involved with that and the fact that it's too big to fail. So regardless of what's happening on a short-term basis, and, you know, obviously they've had some success, I would like to do a little bit more research and make sure that this is all factual, that there's no foul play with the numbers. But with that said, you know, we also don't have ETH 2.0. As far as it overtaking Solana, awesome. You know, I'm not a fan of the project at all. I do not like Solana. I don't like projects that claim to be decentralized and are not decentralized and can turn off their blockchain. So more power to Terra in that aspect for overtaking Solana. But again, I wouldn't I think that ETH is out of the game just yet.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment for sure. Well, speaking of ETH, now, Ryan, I appreciate you live streaming from Bobby Axelrod's office from Billions here. You know, Teller Finance, it's a ETH-based, you know, lending platform. Do you see Terra like as a competitor in this space, as, you know, as a competitive DeFi platform?
As a competitive platform, absolutely. In its current state, it's not. So as a developer myself, I understand what the logic is when you want to build something innovative, and you tend to lean to where the users are. The users are still on ETH, and thus the innovative projects in DeFi remain on the Ethereum blockchain. So the question of if development resources are spread too thin, I don't believe they are so. I believe they're still on ETH itself. Now, to Crypto Lifer's point, we can't think about flipping or one asset flipping another unless we bring it back home to King Bitcoin. There was the thought of ETH flipping Bitcoin, and I think this concept comes into play when one asset gets the spotlight. and developments are happening on another asset, but they're overlooked. When we think about the development of Bitcoin, it's about having conservative technology that is persistent and we can count on. And that will drive global adoption of the entire industry. That's where Bitcoin stands. Ethereum comes in as the first developer layer where you can create financial services. And developers had to go through that learning curve. They have to learn Solidity in order to understand how to build on Ethereum. That's not stopping them. That is not stopping the most innovative developers. So I think we're going to continue to see this battle between Ethereum as that core place where users are today and developers want to build, and coins like Luna, Solana, trying to compete for that developer talent.
Okay,
Can I ask
now
one question, DC? Can I ask him one
go
question?
for it. Go for
Why does he think Charles? And I agree with him a lot. But why do you think Charles Hawkinson's left Ethereum to create Cardano?
It's my understanding. Well, he might know better than I. Ryan, what's your thoughts on that?
No, go for it. I just think he saw an opportunity early on and said, hey, I could be a co-founder of one project or I could own more of another project. I don't think there was a more technical reason as to it.
The one thing too that you guys also think about when it comes to Ethereum is all these other platforms, these smart contract platforms that would be competitors. The majority of them, if not all of them, are building EVM capability. That's basically a bridge to Ethereum. So everybody is still building around Ethereum, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of, you summed it up best. I think he just wanted to be a leader in his own right, and you can't do that with Ethereum. But now, Ragzy, Ryan brought up a good point. People like to go where the people are, and you've done an NFT drop. I am a holder, but then you also did a drop with Polygon. So you've done ETH, then you've done the Polygon bridge as well. Do you see NFTs as a good marker of where an ecosystem maybe could be, a year from now, 2 years from now? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be popular, but if you see that there are devoted artists, they really love this chain and they're really passionate about it, and it has that core community. Is there a way to, kind of see where things are heading, whether it's, Solana NFTs, ETH NFTs, Cardano NFTs? I mean, there's also VeChain NFTs. There's all types of chains really building out. Is that a good litmus test?
I think it's all experimental at the end of the day. And I think that, as an artist that only does one of ones, I like to experiment with different chains, and I'm going to be gravitating into some different chains that are considered to be more green, like my lipstick, eco-friendly and things like that. But I think right now there's a clear, front runner, and that's Ethereum. But behind Ethereum, I feel like there's no clear winner. Solana's kind of second, but that could change very easily. A lot of these blockchains realize how profitable the NFT market actually is and why it's beneficial. And they're all trying to compete now, and they're all trying to build it out. So as an artist, I'm looking at the different chains. I'm kind of in an experimental phase, but I kind of like that, because at the end of the day, that's kind of why crypto punks exploded in the first place, right? They weren't expecting these things to sell for millions and millions of dollars. It started out, hey, let's give these out for free and see what happens. So I just kind of like this idea of experimental NFTs for my state as I am right now as an artist. I know some people are trying to build sound businesses and really take their project to the next level. And there's some projects that are absolutely killing it and doing great. But for me, the reason why I haven't done that is because I still think it's way too early to see who the winners are going to be. So I've kind of been doing, these one-of-ones. And then once it's determined, okay, here are the front runners, here are your choices, then I'll probably try to expand the brand and build on top of it that way.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you brought up, some of these larger brands, these larger NFT, drops, because that brings us to our next topic, the Bored Ape. That's not the Kennel Club we're talking about. We're talking about Know Your Customer. They put out a cryptic tweet yesterday. I can't remember the exact URL, ends in XYZ. And they're creating this huge commotion in the NFT industry because they want you to basically register your information for something mysterious in the future. They're not really being forthcoming with the details here, but they want your home address. They want your MetaMask address or your wallet address. They want your name. I believe they even want your phone number on there. And people are up in arms saying, this is not what, cypherpunks are about. This came just a month after BuzzFeed outed out two of the founders, and there's a lot of uproar about that. So many people are saying it's a little ironic that this team is now asking people to give up their personal information. Sides are mixed. I hold a mutant, and I have 13 more days to decide. Maybe I'll transfer it to a clean wallet. I don't even know what I'm going to do. So I'm still on the fence. I'm kind of waiting for more details to break here. But Ryan, you're running your own protocol here. Do you think that, the KYC aspect of it is going to be the norm for these gigantic blue chip projects, where the minimum NFT is, it's a home. It's $170,000 right now. I think it was 73 ETH right before we went live. It minted at 0.08. So, congrats if you minted one of those. But is this going to be just the normal thing? Like, look, there's a lot of money on the stake here. Maybe we're wanting to do something that we're just trying to worry about regulations that might drop in the future. Is this going to be the normal status quo?
I think identity will be the normal status quo. Blockchain applications have been so limited today because we haven't had participation from an identity standpoint. And in our experience with Teller, we dropped NFTs that were relating to the identity you could bring forth as your interactions on chain. So the concept of identity is a spectrum. It's all the way from just having a wallet and no name associated with it, all the way out to full disclosure of who you are. And to assume that identity won't take place is overlooking all of last year, all of 2021. Profile pictures are the association of some type of identity on Twitter with wallet behavior, wallet activity. We're already becoming comfortable with having a .eth address that may have our name in it. And that will continue to persist. I think the Bored Ape Yacht Club is leaning into this idea of identity. And maybe they go too far with it by requesting all of your information and housing that themselves. Maybe a middle ground here is having some type of zero knowledge proof technology where your identity is used, but you never have to reveal your actual information.
Okay. Now, Rice, do you think that, I know you got a hot take on this. Do you think that this harms their reputation? Or are they, just protecting their brand in the face of unknown regulation?
It's a good question. And really what I would say is I would think that when it comes to the old crypto community, it would definitely be ruining their reputation. But when it comes to the new people that are entering into crypto, that the people that are fans of a project like Solana, I don't know that it would actually be an issue for those individuals. It's sad to say. Now, when it comes to the KYC thing, I think that we're going to see a big push, and it's been mentioned before in legislation about KYC wallets, basically identified wallets. So if you want to be able to send your funds to a centralized exchange or to an off-ramp of sorts, it's got to come from an identified wallet. And basically, this is just, like I've said before in the past, it's adding to tracking and tracing. It's adding for chain analysis. It's identifying that you're a crypto holder, regardless of if you have to have a Bored Ape inside the wallet or not. You're having an empty wallet. You're just identifying yourself as a holder. So you're kind of helping with that process. We're seeing a big push with the IRS. We see Biden's crypto executive orders. So we can kind of see where things are pointing towards. Then you got to look at how much profit and money people have been making in this space, just selling these NFTs and trading these NFTs. That's a big deal. The play to earn factor, how are they going to try to tax that? So it's just adding more factors. I think we're going to be seeing this more and more. And ultimately, I think for companies to play game and not have to deal with any sort of regulatory backlash, they're going to go ahead and do what needs to be done. The other flip side to this is that we've got MetaMask involved, and there's all the controversy with MetaMask, the JP Morgan stuff. So it just doesn't look good for MetaMask, for Bored Apes, in my opinion, when it comes to the Bored Apes Yacht Club. But when it comes to new users, they may have a different feeling on this. There are some people who don't care about privacy, whereas I think those who do care about privacy, this is going to be definitely a big, huge problem for them.
I think you made a pretty decent prediction there. I think there is a good chance it has something to do with the play to earn. That's just my 2 cents. Now, Ragzy, do you see a problem with Bored Ape Yacht Club asking for, this KYC credentials, or, do you think it's not really that big a deal? It'd be pretty cool to take part of this because it could be huge.
Well, I think with Bored Ape Yacht Club and any other big NFT project, I feel like they have no choice. I feel like they're going to have to, right? Because you have to think about scalability. If you really want to take your NFT project to the next level and you really want these partnerships with these massive brands, you have to think in terms of scalability. Are these big brands going to take the risk and partner with projects that aren't completely in the clear and aren't compliant? No, they're not, right? So I think, eventually there's a good chance that every project is going to have to go through this process, and every crypto project's going to have to go through this process. So I think they're almost ahead of the game. Is it great? I mean, well, degens, we don't like it because it seems anti-crypto and defeats the purpose. But at the same time, whenever technology throughout history has gotten really big and useful, regulations, laws, and compliance always come into play. So I feel like they're getting so big at this point and very, very quickly. I mean, they just started this project like less than a year ago, about a year ago, less than a year ago. And it's huge, right? So I feel like eventually it's going to come to the point where they have to they're not going to have a choice. They're going to have to be compliant and have these kinds of things implemented in order to get these massive partnerships to expand.
Yeah,
I want to pop.
it is
I want to
less than a
pop in
year.
and
Go ahead.
add. Need to add something here, really, really important, because I would disagree with every company having to do this. And as an example, and I brought this up many times, you have people like Eric Voorhees with Shapeshift, where you turn the organization into a DAO. So there are lots of other ways around this. It just depends on, in a sense, the motives behind the people with the projects. Because going in the route that Bored Ape is going would allow for, in my opinion, for those individuals to make more money, more profit. Whereas going into a direction of a DAO may take away from their personal profit, where it would be spread out more towards the community. Just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, no, fair point. Now, bringing it to you, 33 here. The Larry Bird
Well,
of crypto, they call you.
I was getting fired up right now. I'll be honest. Same question, right? I don't want to.
Well, no, I was going to ask you, like, are they being hypocritical? Because they were upset about being outed by BuzzFeed, less than a month ago, and now they're asking everybody, give me all your credentials. Now, I'm sure they're not going to just post it on a Google Doc and say, hey, here's everybody's credentials. But it is right, or it is fair to say, is this hypocritical of them? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. I didn't get to say that yet. Appreciate it. One thing I want to say is I'm from Boston, the home of Paul Revere, and it's about freedom. And that's where crypto
Larry
came
Bird.
from.
Wait a minute.
And Larry Bird.
Well, not
and
Indiana, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the whole point it is, I'm the crypto lifer because I didn't like the fact that the legacy banking system was stealing from me my entire life, and my mom and dad, like my entire family. If you look at it and you study what I studied, I've been trying to get back those lost Satoshis since day one, So when I think about KYC, I know we have to do it, but isn't that like lay down? Like at this point, we need to find other ways around the same system that's been draining us. I know we want to play games, but at one point we have to stand strong for what is free and what is true. And like even today, listening to people right now, like I feel like we're already on this channel laying down a little too much. We got to stand strong. Privacy coins are starting to move. There's a reason for that. I saw Dero push up. I saw R move up. I saw Monero getting a bit of a shake up this week. People are going to take back their privacy in some way, shape, or form. Even if most of the projects do decide to conform, there's going to be an innovative, beautiful disruptor, and he's going to create a new tech, I think, that is going to pierce the veil. And I think that's what we're here for, and that's what the passion is when it comes to cryptocurrency.
All right. Well, let's get to this third topic. I'll bring it to you, Ryan. Let's talk about AMC.
It is hypocritical. It is hypocritical. I didn't really.
Yeah.
It is hypocritical completely.
Yeah. No, I believe so. Now AMC, obviously we've been talking about it. I think it first started about 5 months ago. They're gonna start accepting cryptocurrencies for that $87 bottle of popcorn. Adam Aaron he just tweeted out BitPay is going to be live for online payments on the 19th. So we're looking very, very soon. But the coins, a lot of people are asking questions about the coins that they are going to be accepting for payment. Bitcoin, Ethereum, that seems like a slam dunk, but we have Bitcoin Cash, we have Litecoin, we have Dogecoin. Now, Ragzy, what do you think is a better move? I think, these meme coins, it is fair that they probably have a larger audience than, maybe something with stronger technicals or fundamentals that's further down the market cap line. But do you think that is the better move? Should they go towards, a stronger coin, more things in the top 10, a Terra Luna, a BNB, a Solana, or should they lean into the meme token community? Shout out to Tom Crown, the Litecoin and the Dogecoin. What's a better strategy?
Oh, you left out Sheba.
Yeah,
What's your
well,
favorite one?
yeah, I mean, we all love Sheba, of course.
Apparently you don't.
I believe they're doing it just in
Oh, I love you guys. You're the best.
I think they're
Oh.
accepting all of them. Well, earlier this year we heard Elon Musk say in his interview, right? They view Bitcoin as a store of value, right? So people aren't going to want to spend that. I mean, honestly, like if I have a Bitcoin, I think it's going to go to $1 million. I'm not going to want to go spend that on AMC tickets to see the movie, right? And that's why personally, like he's all about the Dogecoin as being a tender because they don't view it as a store of value, and the same thing with Shiba Inu and these meme coins. And I also think they're doing the hot meme coins like Doge and like Sheba just because the younger generation, that's what they're buying. Like maybe some are buying Bitcoin and ETH, but what's capturing the attention of younger investors are NFTs, Shiba Inu, and Dogecoin. And that's it. And other meme coins, because the younger generation, likes this art, likes the style. And with Doge and Shiba, there is like an artistic value to those meme coins, right? The Doge is modeled after the iconic Doge meme. Then you have the Sheba, which is like an adorable dog. It's just like an easier concept, for the younger generation that likes to go to the movies. So I feel like there's a marketing appeal that way. But in terms of Bitcoin, like I'd accept Bitcoin for my art too. Everybody wants to accept Bitcoin because it's a store of value. But at the same time, I feel like if businesses are just going to use Bitcoin, it's not a slam dunk because people aren't going to want to spend it. Like people are heavily invested in Bitcoin. They believe in the power of Bitcoin. They're not going to be wanting to spend their Bitcoin. They think the value is going to go up in a short amount of time.
Yeah, unless it's in the 70s and 80s thousands, I'll be spending that thing. All right, now Ryan, as a CEO, so you can kind of see, like what has been happening in, the industry over the last month. There's been a strong resurgence of, nostalgia here. We got LimeWires coming back, we got AMC. Hey, remember the movie theater? It was only 2 years ago. You used to go, come back. So, they're trying to key into this nostalgia a little bit and trying to key into these meme communities. Is this going to be enough to, keep these brands around for the long haul? Are there enough people who know what LimeWire is to where LimeWire can, be here 5 years from now? Is enough people going to, go to the theater and spend their Doge where, hey, I think Doge will be here, 5, 10, 15 years from now. Will this be enough?
I think you hit on the head. It's brand. It's all about brand. It's all about marketing today. So it's not only LimeWire and AMC, it's Radio Shack. Ty Lopez bought Radio Shack and has turned it into a Uniswap interface. There is a DAO that is buying Blockbuster DAO. Nostalgia from these brands carry weight and they carry an audience. However, these brands have lost touch with the actual product that they were originally creating. And they're very lucky because we're moving into a consumer base that values the brand over the product itself. And that wasn't the case 50 years ago for different generations. So now their play is to lean into how they can leverage what's hot. Doge is hot, Shiba's hot, NFTs are hot, and bring in a new audience base. The same is in relation to NFT brands that just came up in the 2021 cycle. You have Doodles, the Bored Apes, and other communities that are here because those buyers like the brand. They like the artwork. There wasn't a product behind it. And now these brands are creating products. And I think we're going to see the same type of innovation come through from these nostalgic brands if they want to stay relevant, if they don't want to become the Toys R Us of the world and just get lost in that next wave of consumerism. So it's going to be about these brands bringing in leaders that can think creatively. And funny enough, just like Radio Shack, think about what their next pivot is as a product. That's how they remain relevant.
Well, teller finance, I mean, there might not be bank tellers 20 years from now. You could you could sound like Pony Express Protocol, 30 years from now. So was that a strategy you thought about? Did you think about, maybe Pony Express? Did you ever cross your mind to maybe buy an old IP? We could be Thundercats coin.
The slowest blockchain.
I'm kind of joking.
We have thought of Lehman Brothers. That would be a fun one to DAOify.
I don't hate that, actually. I'd ape into Enron coin. All right, now
Rice,
why not? And Lifer, I might ask you about the AMC chart as well. But Rice, these meme coins, they're trying to resurrect, this industry. This, we got AMC. It's on the way down. Who knows what will happen, say, a year from now, or hopefully whenever all protocols are lifted. Maybe the theaters will be flourishing. We don't know. It's time will tell. But do you think this is going to be able to rekindle the spark into any of the younger investors as more and more young people get into NFTs and Sheba and Doge and all that? Will this marketing tactic work, you think?
No. No, I don't think it's gonna, have like any like impact like that, but it might have just some momentary success because of branding. Because I don't really think that the longevity of the coins that we've mentioned is going to continue. Something like Dogecoin with the Dogecoin Foundation, I find having more longevity. Not really 100% sure about Sheba, just because it is such a newer project and just based on another project, which would be Doge, and you don't really need another Doge because. And I'll get into that. Now, what Ragzy was talking about was Gresham's law, which is basically bad money driving out good money. You don't want to use good money versus bad money. So you don't see people utilizing gold. You see people using dollars. People would rather use dollars than Bitcoin because of the scarcity. But something like Doge and Sheba are inflationary. There's always going to be more. There's no scarcity involved. So those kind of tokenomics are actually perfect for us to go and buy our coffee and our everyday small purchases and things to that effect versus a Bitcoin that has scarcity because there's only going to be ever 21 million ever available. And then you have the locked up coins that aren't even accessible. Now, the interesting thing about this with AMC, it's only for online payments. It's not as if they're accepting cryptocurrency. They're using BitPay as a medium. So BitPay is swapping out the cryptocurrency right off the bat and giving them US dollars. So it's just like when AT&T started accepting crypto payments. They're not taking the crypto. They're taking the dollars. BitPay is going to do the exchange process in the middle. And, it would be really easy, especially with the transaction fees for Doge and Sheba being so expensive, just to do this peer-to-peer and allow for people to do it in person in addition to online. It just doesn't make sense to do that. So, until we start seeing more peer-to-peer and businesses actually wanting to keep and hold cryptocurrencies versus immediately transferring these back into dirty fiat worth nothing that's losing value, these kind of pieces of news don't really mean anything. And if you've been in crypto for any length of time, you should agree with what I'm saying. Best of luck to AMC.
Well, Lifer, I'm going to bring it to you. I would like to see, it would be interesting to see a decentralized peer-to-peer ticket Dogecoin, ticket Bitcoin marketplace. I wouldn't want to meet anybody in a parking lot like, hey, I got the Batman tickets. Come meet me in the parking lot,
Localtickets.com.
Yeah, that'll be your last matinee. You know what I mean?
There'll eventually be NFTs that are the tickets, and then people will be buying and trading the NFTs and selling them as a pass.
Yeah. And yeah, who knows, like you buy this video game, you get to go see the movie for free. It comes with the NFT. Now, Lifer, what is your take on this? And I also kind of want to know, did the markets have any reaction to Ryan's tweet? Was there any kind of like, oh, they've been saying it, but now we finally have a date. I'm sure we'll have a small flash of, revenue.
My thing is this. I remember getting the Nokia phone. And number two, I'm going to share my screen in a second.
Tank.
I remember
that
getting
thing
the Nokia
was a
phone.
tank. You couldn't beat the Nokia as far as durability.
Because we stopped going to the payphone, right? When I was a kid, I actually did leave my house with some quarters when I was 13. Now there's kids that never knew what that was. So eventually there's going to be a whole generation of kids that have never seen a dollar bill, right? And so I think AMC's smart to try to already begin the implementation. Yes, I see what he's saying because they're using BitPay as a cross-end transaction in the back end. They're not really holding Doge. Maybe they are, though. We don't know that for sure. I mean, I guess we can say because of BitPay, but maybe they eventually do hold some at one point. My point is, I think they're stepping in the right direction. I also think it's the hot coin. I was actually at a restaurant across from one of these, you know, from a cinema recently, and the guy was like, "Oh, you're into crypto? How about that Dogecoin?" Like, that's the only thing people know. It really seems to be the #1 thing. AMC though, you wanted to see AMC chart. Let me just swing that up and see it for a second. Also, I had to
Doji
go
is
and
your
look at
gateway
Ragzy.
crypto.
Is this you, Ragzy? Is this? I am a Lego fiend.
That is
This is
mine.
beautiful.
Thank you.
This is
Yeah, it's a
unbelievable. I just
waterfall
have
I
to
did
spotlight
out of
your work.
Lego.
Unbelievable. Like, this is that.
Thank
You know how much? You know how
you.
many hours that takes? Like, that's no joke. My God, I just had to do that.
It
That's
took 4
I am so
months.
passionate about Legos. That's awesome. So, AMC. I
Thank
mean, had that
you.
huge spike up to 71. Came back down to 786. I mean, that's a good retracement. Very healthy retracement to 786. Double bottoming there. Didn't really show signs of life. Nothing really popped here. You know. So no, you didn't see much action on the chart. If we go to like a small time frame to see if we got something on the 10-minute or anything, really no. So we didn't see much of a spark. However, the market took a dump Friday afternoon, and that kind of held down the rest of the market. Let's see what happens Tuesday, Wednesday after we come out from that 1 hour, and maybe it will be priced in. But no, we didn't see much. We didn't see much fireworks because of that. You know.
All right, Reddit army, where are you at? Don't you want to pump your meme coin? And, you know, I'm sure there's some other meme coin that, let's do a short squeeze all the silver. You know what? Let's buy all the Bitcoin off the exchanges. That's the short squeeze I'm interested in. But that is all the time we have for today. It looks like Rice just squeezed past Ragzy there at the end. That awesome Lego art. Lego art was just so close to pushing you over the edge. But Rice,
I tried to do it. I tried to get us there.
All right, Rice, go ahead. Leave us with some party.
I should get a point for the waterfall.
Yeah, she should get the Lego art. She should get bumped up, man.
Hey,
like,
I don't need to win.
Man.
I really don't. You know.
Okay,
but,
I'll tell you what. Today is for the artists.
Let's
Ragzy,
give it to the lady.
you go ahead. Leave us with some parting thoughts. Leave us with a waterfall of information here.
Oh,
Please.
really? I was joking. Okay.
Well, that was the drawing. That was the drawing. That's all I was saying.
Okay. But yeah, the waterfall took
Don't
4
go chasing
months to
them.
create, and it used over 100,000 pieces. Thank you so much for showing it. That was so sweet.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that is all we got time for today. I hope, BitSquad, that you have a wonderful weekend. Make sure you check out the NFT Alpha Show. Make sure you check out all the guests. Their links will be in the description. They all put out fantastic content. Check out, maybe even check out Terra Finance. Maybe it's the next hot coin offered at AMC's competitive. Who knows? But
links in the
video
description.
Easy out.